Hello and welcome to Bad Dog Comedy TV. It's live comedy on YouTube, and today you're watching Try Improv, the show where a relative newbie to improv gets to try improv with one of our great faculty members here at Bad Dog Comedy Theater. And speaking of amazing faculty members, you may know him as the voice on Clifford the Big Red Dog and Agent Binky. Give it up for Matt Folliott.
Hey, Connor. Hi.
Hey, I'm sorry I said that you voiced Clifford.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't voice Clifford, but I voice a hero. I voice a character named Hero. But thanks. I'll take it anyways. I voice Clifford, sure.
Great.
Yeah,
you heard it here.
Yeah, it's
first.
out there now. Yeah, I voice all the characters on that show. Why not?
How are you doing this week?
Hey, I'm good. You know, I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. It's a lot like last week for me and the week before.
Yeah, you know what? That is the general vibe. Yeah, I'm not enjoying the pandemic right now. Big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah, but you know, I was telling you earlier too, I got a skateboard injury right here. My glasses took the brunt of a fall and exploded, and the frame stabbed me above the forehead, or above the eye in the forehead. So that's a little bit of excitement in the pandemic, and I'm here for it.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you're taking some enjoyment in pain.
You know what? You can the pandemic, and I'm happy to do that.
Well, you froze a bit for me there, which is a bit of joy in the pandemic. Nothing like a fun freeze. Now, Matt, I've got some questions for you here.
Sure, please. I hope I don't keep freezing. I'm so sorry if I do.
No, that's all right. That's the pandy, baby. All right, I'm gonna get off screen so you can take all of the attention as you answer these pre-written questions. Number 1.
What are you teaching at Bad Dog? Hey, great question. I'm teaching the Herald Studio series, and I have 2 classes that start this weekend. One is How to Coach Improv, and the other is Initiations.
Great. Next question.
What's your favorite thing about teaching improv? I think I've said this before, that I can reinforce what I think works in improv for myself. The second thing, and I mean, probably reinforcing what I think works is the second thing, because truly the first thing that is awesome about teaching improv is seeing somebody develop further and excel. That is a real point of pride when I see people do that. So.
Great answers.
Yeah, thanks. I'm full of great answers. Yeah.
Happy to have you back. Happy to reinforce previous answers. See what I did there? But I have one more question for you. This one isn't written down. It's, are you ready to meet your improv novice today?
You know what? I've been thinking about it all day, and I'm ready. I'm prepared. Let's do it.
Well, you may know her from the Beijing Improv and Comedy Festival and her show on Bad Dog Comedy TV, Quarantine. Give it up for Tamara, Shevon.
Hi.
Hi, Tamara.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I love the whole skateboarding thing. I didn't know that you skateboarded.
I skateboard, yes. I'm a 37-year-old man who skateboards. All my students, Tamara, I should say this, all my students at Bad Dog know this because that's all I ever talk about now.
I don't have balance like that, so I like I'm all about that. I want to see you skateboarding in your brand new hat that you never wear.
Yeah, hey, you know what? In the summer, I'm going to invite you out. We'll hang out. I'll do some ripping around. We can chat. It'll be great.
Oh my God, stop. I would love that.
Yeah. Also, doesn't that sound great? Like summer and being outside and doing nothing? That sounds great.
It does sound way better than what's happening right now. They're like,
Yeah,
do you
honestly.
guys just want to stay home for like 2 years? So I was like,
Yeah,
not really.
no. Yeah, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be at house arrest for 2 years. Yeah. Tamara, what are we doing today? I think we're going to do some improv, and we're going to sort of do it based on the idea of stakes.
That is correct, but first I have a few questions for Tamara, if that's all right.
I'm sorry. I'm jumping the shark.
Yeah, that's right. Try Improv is canceled. We've done it already. Tamara, would you like to answer a few questions?
I know I don't have a choice.
Here we go.
What is your performance background? So I do stand-up comedy, which right now is sit-down Zoom comedy, so that's really fun. I used to be in a choir, actually. Isn't that crazy? I used to sing. Don't ask me to sing. I lost my voice now. It's not like I don't have that voice. But I used to be in like a choir for a really long time. I used to sing "Oh Canada" all the time. I guess that's not very like performance, but it is. Singing's performance. That's it, really. Yeah, that's it. I did some storytelling. I've done some storytelling because I tell really good stories. And then I just started getting paid for it. But yeah, that's about it.
Great. Next question.
What is your improv experience? Very little. Very little. I'm currently taking level 1 at Bad Dog. Check it out if you haven't taken an improv course. It's very fun. But I'm learning about improv right now, and it's very limited. I'm 3 weeks into improv.
Oh, I muted myself while I was saying something. That's, we've already been canceled. We've jumped the shark. So, who even cares at this point? My question was, with those 3 weeks and, your previous stand-up experience, I know there's some tension between stand-ups and improvisers out there in the world. Here's the next question.
What is your impression of improv? I think that it's a very trustworthy profession to like put your trust in a bunch of other people to make things work. Like I don't have that ability to do that in general life. So it's been hard, but I think that it's really a respectable thing to do, because stand-up is just like, it's just you and yourself and you just get to do whatever you want kind of thing. But having to rely on other people and like kind of think what other people are thinking, it's very like What Women Want-esque movie, Helen Huntish. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's cool. I'm hoping to get 6 weeks in, I'll be a pro. You guys don't even know. Watch out. After this one show, I will be a full-blown improviser.
Well, that's the promise of the show. And sorry for interrupting you, Matt, earlier, as you were doing such a wonderful segue. Would you like to take it away?
Yeah, I love a good segue. Yeah, can you throw it to me?
Yeah, Matt, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I do. Thanks, Connor. Tamara, I think what we will be doing... I'm on the right track now, Connor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, perfect. I think what we're going to be doing today, Tamara, is sort of playing around. Well, not playing around with it, because who knows what's going to happen in our improv scene. But we'll kind of try to inject this into our improv scene, and that's the idea of stakes. And stakes are, Tamara, just a lot like what heightening is. And stakes, the only thing that kind of differs from stakes, and I mean, it really doesn't. Stakes is heightening, but stakes has always been, to me, just making whatever we're talking about more important to us. So the one way that always pops into my mind in an improv scene to make things more important to you is to have some sort of relationship or connection that's important to the people or things that you're playing with on stage. Meaning, you know, we might start a scene and we might not know each other. That's going to be hard to play or inject stakes when you don't know each other. But if we're, you know, partners, if, you know, I'm your grandfather and you're my granddaughter or whatever, these kind of relationships can add stakes, and we can care more about the people, the characters we've created on stage, and we can kind of raise the stakes by making some more emotional choices that reflect the intensity of that relationship or the importance of that relationship. So that's sort of what stakes is just kind of making it more important by caring more about what you're offering in the scene. And that can be done in various ways. Again, the best example for me is pick relationships on stage that are familiar. Family relationships are going to make things more, make scenes have more stakes. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, Tamara, we'll try to inject that in this scene, but we never know what's going to happen in these scenes, so who cares if we don't do that? I think a tip for you, Tamara, when we're playing this scene is to just be more emotional with everything that we do, to care more about every single offer that comes out and try and connect it back to that reason you care, right? Whatever reason you've decided to care about the person in the scene or the situation in the scene, just keep connecting that to an emotion and driving forward with that emotion, injecting more of that emotion into the scene so we care more about what is happening in that scene, whatever we're doing in that scene. I hope that makes sense, Tamara. Maybe a little convoluted because heightening and stakes can be in a way. A lot of people have a different opinion of what they are and how they work. To me, for this, it's like, let's just be more emotional and care about the fact that we're having an interaction with each other in the scene, meaning the characters care about it. Yeah.
So we're just like really, let me just make sure I get
I would
this.
say we're invested in the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just like, I'm just being very like intense about it in a good way.
That's a good way to put it. If we're invested in the relationship and we get more intense, meaning more emotional about it, then we're going to raise the stakes in that scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew, this is hard.
Yeah, you know what? It's a very interesting subject because, like I said, heightening and stakes, they can mean different things to different people, and I think people put a different level of importance on them as well. But I think the good thing to know about heightening and stakes, it really just means caring more about what you're doing, what you're talking about, and who you're talking to in the scene. That's really what it boils down to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got
I think for a suggestion, because we're going to take a suggestion, right, Connor? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Go ahead and ask me, your audience,
Yeah,
for a
well,
suggestion.
Tamara, you said something beautiful, and I've got to take a suggestion based on this, which is you said you used to be in a choir, which if I looked at you for 1 second, would never imagine that Tamara has ever been in a choir. So I think based on that, I want a suggestion of what would be, Connor, the hot gossip at in the choir group? What would be like the big hot gossip going on in me and Tamara's choir group?
Someone is, hanging out with the pastor after hours.
Wow.
That's some hot goss. So, inspired by that hot goss, we now see this scene with some stakes.
Sister Georgia?
Hi.
Sister Georgia,
How are you?
Oh, I'm great. You would not believe the day I've had.
Ooh. Tell me more.
Get closer. Get closer. You know Pastor Frank?
Everyone knows Pastor Frank.
Sister Georgia, do you know Pastor Frank?
Personally?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you know Pastor Frank. And you know that he's flirtatious, right?
Oh, so flirtatious. It's almost a little too much.
Oh my God, it is a little too much, right? But I kind of like it, a little bit in there, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, for church?
Well, sure. I mean, come on. All the big pinnacle Bible characters were a bit flirtatious. Jesus, he was up on that cross being like, oh, care about me.
Yeah.
Look, I'm half naked. It's a bit flirtatious.
Nail me. Yeah, he was just
Right?
over the
Nail
top.
me, right? Right? There's undertones there, is what I'm saying, right? And don't get me started about God. Flirting all the time, right? It's like, I pray to him, hey, you going to give me something? Does he? I don't know, a bit? So it's a bit flirtatious, I would say.
Yeah, and he's always like everywhere.
This is what I'm saying. They're a bit flirty, these characters. Anyways, Pastor Frank, okay?
Yeah.
Pastor
Ooh,
Frank.
yes, I can't wait.
I saw him down in the prayer chamber. Yeah, that's in a church, the prayer chamber, okay? And he was with, I'm not telling you a lie here. He was with 2 nuns, okay? And I caught them in the corner of the room sharing cigarettes.
On the Lord's watch?
On the Lord's watch, smoking. I didn't see any smoking in the Bible, right? I mean, there was some fire and brimstone, but I didn't see anybody smoke a dart.
What kind of cigarettes were they?
Well, that's the thing. Camel cigarettes.
Oh, Camel's the Lord's animal too.
That's what I'm saying. But
I
get
used
this.
to love camels.
Camel cigarettes, smoking, and your name came up.
My name came up.
Yes, Sister Georgia, your name came up.
What did they say?
Well, that's the thing.
What's the thing?
Well, that's the thing. Is they said your name, and then I burst in like a parent walking in on their kid having underage sex, and I said, what's going on here? Why are you, Pastor Frank, smoking darts in the corner of the prayer chamber with 2 nuns? So I could have listened and been a little more clandestine and found out, but all I'm saying is your name was in their mouth, and I think you need to go up to them and go, listen, Pastor Frank, keep my goddamn name out of your mouth.
I really don't understand why they'd be talking about me. Like, all I've done, I've never even had a Camel cigarette in my life. I would never smoke. I would never do that. All I do is read the Bible, sing tenor. These sopranos.
You have a beautiful tenor voice.
Thank you. That's what I thought. I thought everyone loved my tenor voice. I'm carrying all of these songs, and they're talking about me smoking cigarettes.
The only thing I can think of, okay? The only thing I can think of is when we all went on that retreat, okay? When we all went on that retreat to Oakville and stayed in the Holiday Inn in Oakville, and we all went to the pool, you did put on Slayer when we were all swimming in the pool.
Is that the devil's music, though?
Okay, I'm going to be quite honest with you. When you put on Slayer, I did cross myself a few times before I did a cannonball. And then I went into my room later and I prayed hard. Because if there's one thing that's scary, it's Slayer. If there's 2 things that are scary, it's Slayer and open water. And I was quite terrified. But that is the only reason I can think that Pastor Frank would have your name in his goddamn mouth.
Okay, but here's the thing. I was playing Slayer because of the harmonies. You listen to the harmonies, listen to the background. I thought that we were all going to connect on the fact, like, there's so many sopranos, so many altos, more tenors than usual. I just thought that everyone's going to appreciate the moment, and then we could all slay our songs together. I didn't know it was going to cause all of this.
Now, see, here's the thing. I think most people got it, but, I mean, obviously I didn't, but thank you for clearing that up. But honestly, I saw the look on Pastor Frank's face, and I think he's held on to that. I think he's held on to that trauma. He's held on to it. And now I think he's gossiping about you in the prayer chamber of all places, where you're just supposed to be on your knees praying to the Lord.
Well, I mean, was anyone on their knees praying to the Lord there? Or were they all just smoking cigarettes?
Oh my God, if I walked in on a priest and 2 nuns in the prayer chamber on their knees, I would just simply turn and run the other way, because I'm not gonna lie to you, Sister Georgia. I would think something sexual is going on.
I can't believe this. I honestly can't believe this. I'm gonna have to go and talk to them. I'm gonna go have to. This is my character being attacked right now.
You know what, Sister Georgia? I support you, and I think you should talk to Pastor Frank. Cut to Sister Georgia talking to Pastor Frank. Yes, Sister Georgia, what do you need to talk about?
I heard something about you today.
Okay.
I heard that you had my name in your mouth.
Like I was saying your name?
Like you were saying my name.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you have something to say about me, you should say it to my face.
Yeah, we're making you head of the choir.
Oh. Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Why didn't you let me know that earlier before I had to come in here like this?
Yeah,
I
you
would
kicked
have
in my
loved-
door. My door is splintered into a million pieces.
And here's the thing, when the Lord takes over my body,
You
and I
pushed
just
over
feel
my
so
you pushed over my vase.
and you know, it wasn't really a pretty one,
You called me a cracker.
which is going to be the name of our new song when we do communion. Communion.
Okay. Look, Sister Georgia, I trust you implicitly, and I think you will run the choir extremely well. You have my blessing.
Thank you so much. I really feel like I appreciate this. Should we discuss this over like a couple camels?
No, that's inappropriate. I don't smoke. Thank you. That's our scene.
Oh boy.
What? Guess what? He can't. He can't cut us off. We won't let him. We're in
We're
control.
not gonna take it.
You know what, Tamara? How was that? Did you
That
like
was-
that?
If my name came up, I'd be pissed. Yes, right? Yeah, that was fun. Choir gossip. Yeah, I had a good time. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm wondering how we're gonna get out of this scene.
You know what? I'm sort of always in a state of wondering that too. So yeah. Yeah.
No, that was really fun, and it kind of was very choir-esque. It was very church drama-y.
I live for that church drama. I want more of it. I imagine that's maybe what it's like, but probably not.
It's pretty much identical to what it's like.
Oh my God. That was that was.
Say that one more time. Sorry, that was
That was a
what?
documentary. It wasn't improv. That was a doc.
Coming Netflix 2022, The Camel.
I like that. We'll call that scene the camel. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. The Camel.
Connor, what
perfect.
else do we got to do? I always look to you, Connor, because
Well,
you know things.
you were supposed to discuss the scene. You did. You were supposed to, attack the church. We did that. And,
Honestly, I thought I was really nice to the church, quite frankly, because they don't have a very good track record, let me tell you.
Seriously. They were
Yeah.
just smoking cigarettes. I mean, there's nothing better we could have done.
Yeah. Like, when anybody brings up cancel culture, why don't we just point to the church and be like, that shit isn't canceled?
Right?
Like, isn't that the greatest example that that's all bullshit? That's not canceled, the church?
It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
Now we're wading into other waters. Now
Well,
we're
the next thing-
swimming into other waters here.
the next thing on
This
my
is a
list
new
was
show.
cancel the church. But after that, Tamara, do you feel inspired to keep taking classes after your taste of improv?
Yeah, I like that it's always different. So, I mean, it's really going to be good for anything in life. Like if I want to do stand up, if I need to like lie to my boyfriend, like anything like that, it's going to be perfect.
Tamara, can I offer something to you?
Yeah.
next time you do improv, because what I think is lovely is stand-ups doing improv, because stand-ups doing improv have sort of a weapon or a tool at their disposal that often younger improvisers don't have, which is you have a real sense of what is funny and what tickles your funny bone. And so all I would ever say to you is don't be afraid in a scene if something is said that's funny, that you just sit there and riff on it, to literally not move past it. Do exactly what you would do in a stand-up set. If there is something that you think is funny, literally stay on it and talk about it forever.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you will
good
be
at that.
surprised how digging into something you're enjoying in that moment works out and does the same things for you that any good improv will do for a scene. So yeah, because I think there's something so unique about stand-ups doing it because your funny brain is already a bit developed more. So again, when something tickles you, stay on it. Talk about it more. Like you had sort of done it with the Jesus thing. Like he's up there, and like if that's funny to you, stay on it. Talk about it forever. Because there's something there that's still enjoyable, even if it doesn't feel like the scene is advancing, it truthfully is. Because we're exploring an idea more. We're digging into one thing more. And I think that's always what stand-ups in a way will have coming into improv, is that if you find something funny in the scene, talk about it more. Yeah.
Well, that's some great wisdom from Matt. Matt, where else can people get your wisdom in the coming days?
Oh, where can they get my wisdom?
Yeah.
Like other shows, classes? What do you want from me, Connor?
Well, I feel like classes are, the easiest way to dispense wisdom. Are there any classes you're teaching with Mad Dog?
Absolutely. You still have time to register for How to Coach Improv, which is set to launch tomorrow. And that class, I'll teach you how to coach improv groups and sort of help improv groups create the desired improv they want to create. And then on Saturday, I'm teaching initiations. And initiations is such a great class because it's all about how to start your scenes off with a bang, how to make a really fun initiation to start your scene. Typically, when initiations are fun, exciting, when you're jazzed about them, it means you're going to be jazzed about the rest of the scene. A scene often goes wrong within the first 2 lines of dialogue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It also, it's a weird double-edged sword because it goes wrong within the first 2 lines of dialogue. It can also go right within the first 2 lines of dialogue. Just depends what you do with those first 2 lines of dialogue.
Well,
Right.
That's great. Thank you both so much for doing this. A reminder to everyone that you can subscribe to Bad Dog Comedy TV on YouTube for more shows like this and more shows not like this. We got all sorts of shows. Just give us a little taste. You'll like our shows. Also, we are a registered charity, so if you'd like to donate at the link in the description, baddogtheater.com/tryimprov, that'll be like your ticket to this show, a free class almost, and you'll get a tax receipt because, as I mentioned before, we are a registered charity. Now, before we say goodbye, Matt, do you have anything else you'd like to plug before we go?
No, just keep watching online comedy. Support the hell out of online comedy and then support it even more once we're back in theater form. Because I'm excited. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and we'll all eventually be on stage and in audiences soon, and I'm so excited about it.
And Tamara, anything to plug before we say goodbye?
Watch Quarantine on Tuesday at 4:30. It's really fun. If you missed this past week's episode, go watch it right now.
All right. Thank you both so much, and see you in the future. Bye.
Bye.